problems what we are facing now in our country, the misunderstanding between decisions and police officers, and so forth. Again, I think the root is the misunderstanding, and that's what I'd like to mention today. Again, this session. What do you call here? Ignorance here. Ignorance. I think that we may not know all. I think that we raise the cause or karma that we may not aware of. I think that we have great. That's what we end up here. Okay, what do you call Buddhism? What do you call this? What the helpless conditions. Besides the Noble Truths, the Buddha provide this kind of math for us to recognize how we came about here. How did we end up here and where we go to? That's the question that we're looking for, right, in Andi's traditions. So, have you know about this, what we call 12 conditions, or original dependence? Anyone you know about this? You know aware of that? Okay. So, the Buddha mentioned that anything that we have done in the past probably is our ignorance. Sometimes we say something that may be offended to other people. Probably our ignorance. And of course, after we have spoken, we read that and we apologize for that. But other people, they did not have a chance to apologize. So again, sometimes because of ignorance, we did some kind of karma, good, bad karmas. So, again, how about let's talk about karma. What's been the karma? Can anyone help you define what's been karma? Yes?
I believe it's what we call in unity is law of mind action. What we give out, we get back.
Great, thank you. Anyone? Yes, sir.
I just kind of thought of this, that maybe it's the accumulated effects of actions, which then tend to lead toward certain other, which then tend to create other effects. So it's kind of the weight of your history. Not that you can't turn that around, but anyway, accumulated effects.
That's good. Thank you. Anyone? Any more comment about karma? Yes, please.
Bread cast on the water. In traditional spiritual circles, they speak of bread cast on the water.
Karma. All right, so probably most know what karma is about. How about the types of karmas? The types of karma. Yeah, well, how many kinds of karma do you think of? Good karma, bad karma? The neutral one. Okay, let's. Okay. Yes. Okay. Can you give one example of neutral karma?
Yeah. So if karma is a consequence of actions, I can do something that has a positive effect, a negative effect, or really no effect at all. And so there is some freedom in my idea of neutral karma in saying, if it doesn't harm another person and it doesn't harm me, then the action is free to be done, even if the action doesn't result in something that's good or bad. It does fall into this neutral. So because if I take good and bad, it's like, oh, here's really good and here's really bad. Somewhere there has to be a meeting place where there's just sort of a neutrality of it's not good, it's not bad, it's just going to fall right in the middle. So that's my
Yes, please.
Equivalent to what we say in Christianity about reaping and sowing, maybe? Reaping and sowing.
Okay, can you elaborate more?
You know, like you reap what you sow, like
Okay.
the behaviors. You know, like if you sow love, you get love, sow forgiveness, you sow grace, you're, you know, building up your account, I guess in those areas in one sense. Where if you're sowing hatred and, you know, unmercifulness and all those different things, you're sowing that and you kind of reap it, you know. I guess that's what I think of when I think of karma.
Okay, anyone else? Yes, please.
My comment is not on karma, but I do have a question about what the gentleman said. Is there any such thing as a neutral effect? I mean, there's positive and there's negative, I can see that clearly, but I can't get a grasp for that neutral. It seems to me that there's a cause and an effect attached to everything, or the lack of anything.
Let's say when you sweep the floor, is that good karma or bad karma? When you sweep the floor, good karma. While you drive in the car on the street, it's good karma or bad karma? Depend which car you drive. Depend where you drive to. Depend your state of mind. Yes?
When she was stating the question, I felt what the neutral meant for me was grace. The neutral is grace, receiving grace for our mistakes. Like, you know, everything that we do, we don't reap a consequence. We have received abundance of grace and mercy. I know from my own experience in my life, I've experienced a lot of grace. So I think for me, I would like that word better than neutral, like just to receive grace.
All right, thank you. Anyone? Yes, sir. Yes, please. Sorry.
Whatever we do to others, we do also to ourselves.
Okay. Yes. Yes, please. I mean, the types of the kind of karma. Yes.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the neutral karma. It got me to thinking, and I was thinking that it's probably that saying, do no harm. So maybe I'm not helping somebody, and maybe I'm not hurting them. I'm just staying in the middle, not doing anything, which puts you in a neutral zone. I don't know, that's my thought.
Yes. How about you here? I'm sorry. Yeah, next.
See karma as a higher vibration of the rule that for every action there is a reaction.
Okay.
And neutral karma could be hitting us all of the time and we're not necessarily aware of it. So
Yes.
you may spot good karma, you may spot bad karma, but there could be a zone in between, this neutrality, where you're just bombarded by it constantly due to your own neutral actions. You don't feel it because it doesn't change your mindset.
Good, you can say good karma. So, good karma and okay. Oh, I can put plus I just good karma, but plus karma is minus sign. Anyone else about the type of karma? Otherwise, you know, even, let's say, while we hear it, while we sit here, or while we stand here, do we really good about karma? What do you think? Good karma. We come to learn. We come to share the idea within our traditions so that it can enrich our spiritual life, our knowledge. You can say that's good karma, right? Now, of course, it depends on how we view things too, in a positive way. And of course, there's many types of karmas, but I want to mention two things, what we call individual. Karma and collective karma. Yes. Each of us has our karmas, right? We make good, bad karma, and so forth. But this kind of good, bad karma may affect our spouse, the family members, the communities, the nation, the global communities too. Whichever happens in Dallas is affecting our communities here in Houston. Yes?
Is the collective and individual karma different from collective and individual consciousness? It seems like it's interchangeable. It seems like it's the same. Does that mean the same thing?
Yeah, interchangeable.
It's interchangeable. Okay. I just want to make sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say that one way we can look at what happened in Dallas and what's been happening a lot in the country is, the effect of karma. I don't think we can deny that.
And whichever we learn today, right? Whichever we share today, we may share with other members, our family members, of our friends, and so forth. That's what we call collective karma. All right? What we learn we learn it and share here in our individual karmas. When we share out to people, when we go home, right? That's collective karmas. And in one accident, in any circumstances, let's say in one accident, the driver maybe died, but the other one in the car may not have much severe problems physically, right? So it depends upon each karma. But in general, they have that type of accident in the same what we call collective karma there. Is that clear? Right. So again, so that's the karma there. And in Buddhism, because of ignorance, we rise up with type of karma. Good karma, bad karma, is other kind of karma. I don't have time to list here. And that's why we here in Buddhist view. And that whichever thing we have done in the past, that's why we're here. Whichever thing we are doing, it will affect our future. It's common sense. So they say that if you want to know what you have done in the past, look what you have now. If you want to know what's going to happen in the future, look what you do now. Does that make sense? Especially young people. If they have studied for many years, of course now they have degree, they can work for companies or get up when they are on office now. And for now, if they go to school to have degree, they will be doctor, engineer, and so forth. This is common sense. So again, so that's what we call the karma in here. The Buddha said that in the past, because of the ignorance, we do a certain type of karma. This is the past. It belongs to the past. Remember, past here in Buddhist view, yes, it is.
In relation to karma and reincarnation, I've heard that you get reincarnated back on the level that you were when you left, whatever your actions were. But I've also studied life after death, and that people get reincarnated and they ask to come back to learn a specific lesson, and that's where they're placed, where they are today. That's why I struggle with, seeing the children in India that are starving and begging for food and don't have clothing or shoes, that they ask to come back, or their karma was so bad that they are put in that position in life. Can you explain how Buddhism explains that, please?
I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks for bringing up that point. It's really important. It's the whole concept of reincarnation here. That's why the Buddha provides us the map of how did we end up here and where we go to. In Buddhist view, we believe in the cycle of life, heaven. Of course, in most of the tradition, we believe in heaven and the hell. This is what we call the vertical realm, right? Either you go up to heaven forever, eternal heaven, or go down to the hell. But the Buddhism, besides this vertical lines, this vertical paths, we have what we call heaven and human. Animal. And we have what we call semi-god, fighting gods. Okay, and some kind of wolves. If you scare of them. So what we call here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. What we call 6 type of rebirth in Buddhist view. It's not vertical, but it's a cycle. And of course, it depends upon us if we want to believe or not. So look at the water, look at the air, look at the plastic, look at the paper. They go in cycle. Can we cycle the paper, the plastic, the water? And we be in the cycle, not straight up and down. This is in Buddhist view. This is what they call sit path birth. This is a cycle. There's no any pause, no starting point. Yes, please.
Can you repeat what 5 and 6 are, please?
Yes.
Number 5 and 6.
Oh, okay. Number 1, heaven. That's what most of us want to go up there forever. Number 2, heaven. Oh, sorry, human. Human right here. And number 3, animals. All kind of animals on the air, on the earth, on around, under the sea, on the water. Of course, we recognize that here. No one wants to go down there. And the 5th is ghost. Some kind of invisible beings. In Buddhist view, this is all kind of invisible beings that surround us. What we call angel, spirit, and so forth. That belong to this classification. And number 6 is what we call fighting gods. We have people who like to fight. And over there in heaven, in Buddhist view, we have some kind of fighting angel too. Yes?
Fighting gods? What is 5? 6. Or what is 6? What's the word?
Fighting gods. Or fighting... the one who like to fight.
Okay.
The one who violence. The violent one. Yeah. So that's in Buddhist view. Of course, it's many. We cannot name them all. So all in between, and among this 6 realms of the birth, is all kind of beings there. But in general, we would classify that we may go back to the human realm, and then after we done this our life, and we may go to heaven, or may go to be animals or wherever. You know, I spent 10 months in India, and one day when they walked out to the hill, because I live in the top, not the top mountain, but on the high hill to buy the food. So you know, in India, if you go to that country, there's less monkeys, there's less cows to run around. You know, right? And we're really concerned about monkeys. When we go down to buy food, on the way up, they may grab and run. Why? Because what we call animal instinct. It's just a survival instinct. They want to grab the food and run away. But we can't. As humans, we can't. We have to respect other properties. That's why Buddha said that as long as we keep what we call 5 universal precepts, revelation, there's no stealing, no such misconduct. No lying, no killing, drugs, and with a negative, harmful drugs and so forth, that's intoxicating our mind. If we follow this kind of, it's universal, right? Universal precept or rules. We consider ourselves as human. And would I say that if you follow this type of 5 basic principle, eventually you'll be human again. That's why I gave you that story. The monkeys, they couldn't control their appetites, they couldn't control their animal instinct that just run out and grab the food. But human animals we can't. So again, that's why we have the prison to lock in people who go beyond or who violate one of these basic principles. We don't accept them in this society, this new human society. Is that right? Alright, so again, so that's what compose our human conduct is for. That's the general rules for us to live as human. And in Buddhist view, if we love other people, if we care for other people, if we share, we have that type of blessing, we can go up to heaven. In Buddhism, this is many types of heavens, not one heavens. There's many types, is what's called plural. In plural, not in plural. We believe in God, but in plurals, not in one singular. And so in Buddhist view, they is like human, but they have more blessing. They have more wisdom than us as well. That's just Buddhist view. That's what Buddhist different from other traditions. And of course, if we attach to our pet too much, be careful. We may go down with them. Yeah, so that's why somehow, even the animals may have some influence on us and vice versa. We may have influence on our pet, is that right? The way we train them, and vice versa. They may have influence on us, the way they live, the way they eat, but still, with that type of connection. Somehow, if we love them too much, in Buddhist view, we explain to you the next one, what they call consciousness here. We may go down there. Or we may dress some type of karma, we may go down there. Of course, no one wants to go down here if we're bad karma. If we're the serious karma, that's maybe not down here. In Buddhist view, if we kill our parents, that's more severe. That's one of the severe karma that we end up here. And ghosts here, yes, we somehow, after we pass away, we stay in that type of realm. That state of mind, what we call intermediate state of mind, or what we call ghostly state of mind. Have you seen that before? It's scary? Or really think? Have you feel that's your partner with you, still around with you? You love them to stay around with you, right? Because you love them too much. But still, in Buddhist view, of course, depend. If actually, we wish that they would be born either in heaven or go back to human realm is much better than in that state of mind. In that state, it's invisible state, and that's why yes. So.
I presume in the Buddhist beliefs, there's a way out of hell.
The way out of hell.
Is there a way out of hell?
Oh, okay, that's good. Let me finish that one and then come back to your question. Okay, now, in Buddhist view, we have after when someone passed away, we have what we call 49 days of prayer. We have that part. 7 weeks is 49 days of doing the prayer for the deceased, because they still stay in that type of intermediate state. So we want to pray for them. Either they go to the Buddha land or the heaven, or go back to the human realm. Because that's what we have here. 40 days of prayer here. And of course, in human, we have all kinds of violent people, so do the heavens. That's why we have the fighting gods here. Alright? So go back to your question. Again, Remember, we just mentioned about impermanent principle, nothing lasts forever. There's many levels of heavens, and this, of course, the main level of hell too, depend upon how we go down. But of course, we have, physically, we don't see them now. But at least in human realm, or in animal realms, you see all kind of people, all kind of animals, on the air, on the ground, and under the sea, the water, all kind of animals. So it depends upon each individual karmas that constitute their life. And in Buddhist view, someone may be born in heaven for trillion, not million, but trillion years. They can enjoy their heavenly life up there for trillion of years. And of course, in the opposite way, they may be tortured or pay their karma in the hell for trillion of years. But again, nothing lasts forever. One day, they would come out. Yes?
When someone passes away, do they have a choice of where they want to go, or are they guided?
Yes, they have a choice. In Buddhist practice, it's so prevailed that right before someone passed away, we would go there and decide Buddha names, decide the Buddha teaching or sutras for them to understand, for them to listen to, so that they could initiate their mind to be involved in the what in Buddhism, Western equivalent, or in Christian tradition, go to heaven. And we have that choice. Of course, you know, the Buddha said that it's like a tree, out there. Now it's still green, but it's still green. It leans toward certain direction. When it died out, you fall that kind of directions. That's what is still our karma. But we can change our karma. We have ability to change our karma. In Buddhist view, we are a creator of our own karma. In either way, good or bad way. So if we have the determination to change our karma in the positive way, like the student, they go to school. They want to change the karma, but not all of them could be successful, right? Of course, some of them could graduate from school to be doctor, engineer, and so forth, but some of them, they may drop out. So it depends on how strong, how firm their determinations are. So that means they can change their karma, but with that type of strong will. Make sense? Okay, so again, in this cycle of rebirth, it's nothing lasts forever. Whether we born in heaven or we go down to hell. That's in Buddhist view. Now let me go back to this thing. This important thing in Buddhist view. It's related to what we call even Western psychology. Okay. Now, this one is happened in the past life. Because knowledge, there is a certain type of karma